A Boy Named Jinx. Written by H. Paul Cote. Read by Tony Smith. From the gates of hell, then rising up from the ash. From birth, his mother called him Jinx, and throughout his teen life, he tried to earn the reputation that comes with the name. It's about a young boy who finds his way through life. Coming from a corrupt, dysfunctional home environment, he takes to living on the streets as he learns a new way to survive. And at the same time, on the pursuit of happiness and everything that's attached to it. This book is packed with mischievous kids pulling together as a brotherhood and hanging out like the Little Rascals. Or better yet, adventuring and traveling like a modern-day Tom Sawyer on steroids. Or maybe I should say high-octane fuel. The book starts as Jinx signs into the mental ward. During treatment, a multitude of interesting stories arise from his past. Then being released, he works hard to have a better life, trying not to drag along too much baggage from his past. During the hippie years, live the moment with Jinx and his friends, while they take you on a magic carpet ride as they get in and out of trouble. The book holds 464 pages and 159 pictures, along with 42 plus blended stories, filled with suspense, action, drama, psychology, romance, and humor. You'll laugh until you cry. Chapter 1. Salvation. Getting in the movies. I glanced at the sign to my right. It read 10 miles to Mandeville. I never thought it would come to be the land of my salvation. In fact, I never thought much of Mandeville until that very day. I only knew that in order to save myself, I needed more help than what I was capable of doing alone. Anger. I always felt the anger, I thought as I turned my eyes back to the road. The anger is what put me in such a predicament in the first place. State prison or state hospital. I knew what would happen if I chose not to get help concerning my mental stability. I would do something far worse, or maybe just get mad, or maybe beat somebody up. I was afraid of what my anger would force me to do. So I made up my mind to check into a nut house for a little while, at least until I was somewhat calmer with life. I only hope they don't electroshock my brain into soup. I had a friend whose aunt's cousin nephew was put in the mental ward, and they gave him a blood transfusion for a monkey. It didn't seem to help much, but he seemed a lot hairier after. Other than theories and speculations I'd heard throughout the years, I was very naive in 1983. The idea of willingly putting myself in that situation, I'd basically be signing my life away. I don't even know if they would let me back out or lock me up and throw away the key. I knew I needed the help though, so I kept my mind on getting some help as I approached the off-ramp. I signaled my right blinker and edged on the brake. I listened to the purr of the engine, and a slight smile played on my lips. I had a 71 Mach 1 Mustang, orange, with multicolored custom racing stripes, with metal flake covering the car. It would gleam in the sunlight, and I added a mural on each side of the landscape of the moon, with my car on it and Earth in the far distance that I airbrushed myself. I had been airbrushing for dang near 4 years, and quite nearly made a living out of it down South Louisiana. It's mine, and I am proud of it. I stopped at the stop sign and saw the nut house in the distance. I took a left, went on about a mile, and came across the entrance. I turned right down the hospital's private drive and came up to a guard booth. The guard seemed to be Hispanic with a big long mustache, stern look on his face like he may be constipated, with a big oversized cup of coffee in his hand with steam that looked like the early morning dew rising, lifting off the late Pontchartrain near New Orleans. He wore a standard blue and off-white guard uniform. Name and reason for visit? He asked, handing me a clipboard with a sign-in sheet. Jinx, I said, signing the paper, handing it and the clipboard back. I noticed on his name tag on his shirt, Bubba. I looked up at his face. I'm here to see the head doctor. Maybe get me some help if I can. He glanced up from the paper and kind of snorted under his breath. Everybody needs help sometimes from time to time, he said. So what's wrong with your head? He asked me. I'm not exactly sure. I was kind of hoping the shrink would help me figure that out. Well, thanks, I said. Just gave him my visitor's pass. Have a nice night. I put the car in drive and headed to the admissions desk. I parked in front, got out, and headed inside. Hello, sir. How can I help you today? The nurse behind the desk asked me. Yes, I'd like to see a doctor, please. I have a couple of things I'd like to discuss with him. Please, sir, have a seat in the waiting room, and I'll make sure the doctor will be out to see you shortly. I went through a doorway that had waiting room in big, bold letters across the top. The room was plain white. A couple of chairs lined the wall, and an end table propped with plenty of car magazines. I sat down in a chair next to an end table by the doctor's office door and started flipping through one of the books. After close to 10 minutes, I A psychiatrist of some sort asked me to follow him into his office. I followed him down the hall and into his office and took a seat. It was plain white, but a fish tank stood in the corner behind his desk, giving the room some sort of tranquil quality. All those colorful fish chasing each other around and around that tank. Dang, it must be betas. The red one was chasing around the blue one, biting at his tail. So what seems to be the problem? He asked. Then I break. Had an expression of grief as I told him all the bad things I did, and about how I was always angry inside, with bad thoughts in my head. Once I finish, he writes down a couple of notes and looks up at me. I would like to help you. I'm just not sure we have an extra bed for you. I stood up from in front of his desk and looked him in his eyes, and I said in a somewhat demanding way, "You better find me one, or we want to show you, not tell you what I did to the last guy that made me angry. I assure you it won't be good. You better find me a bed in this funny farm right now." And I said all this at the top of my lungs, for the whole place to hear. In a stuttering way, with his voice a little shaken, the doctor says, I'll be back in a moment. Let me see what we have available." So the doctor leaves. Around 10 minutes later, he comes back and says, "The only rooms we have available right now are in the lockdown ward." I look at him for a moment, and I knew I couldn't say no. I needed the help too much. "Okay," I say to him. He gives me some paper to sign. I sign them, give them back, then we're off. He takes me to another building, and through hallways and up some floors, and finally we were at the lockdown section, where the craziest of the crazy. The doctor leaves me with an orderly. I noticed on his name tag read J. Hyde, which brought to mind the old black and white movies of Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. He was tall, had big arm muscles that were intimidating, and showed up well underneath his clothes. He gently but firmly guides me to my cell. He opens the door and I look inside. It's a padded room. The floors, the walls, even the bed jutting from the wall was padded in white. The orderly hands me a couple of pieces of light gray clothing with the words across the back plainly spoken, "Hospital inmate," in a plastic bucket saying, in a deep, husky voice, which reminded me of Frankenstein with a little more rough and scratchy, probably because he had smoked many cigarettes today. "It's alright, lights out. Here's your uniform and a bucket to put your personal belongings in. Put the uniform on and hand me your clothes." So he lets me go in the room and crack the door as I change. I pull off all my clothes and I put my things in the bucket. I hand it to the orderly. "Don't worry, you'll get all your belongings back along with your clothes once you've been released." As I turned around, I noticed a nurse standing with him. She handed me a little cup with a blue pill at the bottom. She said, "Here, take these. They'll help you relax." With that being said, I started shutting the door. It clicked shut with locked finality, and I heard the jingle of keys leaving down the hallway. I knew I wasn't getting out of here unless those keys opened the door again. I hoped that little blue pill that was swimming in my stomach would take me down some sort of rabbit hole I couldn't escape from. I lay there thinking about my life, trying to relax and not think about the bad times. The good times were there, I had to admit. There were times when I would sneak out with my friends. They were cool, outcasts like me. I yawned, tears welling in my eyes. I stretched to pop my joints. I pulled back the covers on the cot and laid down. It wasn't uncomfortable, and the blankets were warm. They were cotton with another sheet underneath that. I felt pretty tired. There was something in that pill, I thought. It must have given me something to sleep. Or something, I don't know. Whatever, it's cool. No struggling to fall asleep at least. And then I start feeling weightless, like I was going on a downer trip. I felt my arms, my legs go limp, like I had no control. I was going under on a T-minus 5, 4, 3. That's as far as I made it, as I literally passed out. I dreamed a simple dream.
Hi, my name is Robert. I was asked to give a book review. The book I picked was The Mask That They Wear by H. Paul Cote. The reason I picked this book is because it is inspired by true stories as horrifying as they are. The book is loaded with suspense and drama, and it's based on the stories of girls and young women being abducted and forced to sell their bodies either in a brothel or on the streets at the mercy of a pimp. Many of them are forced to do addicting drugs so they are easier to control. The sad thing is this is still going on even today. This book gives you the opportunity to go behind the curtains and see how some of these girls were forced to live. Once I started reading this book, I didn't stop until I finished. Every page made me want to read the next.
I read it. Okay, well, half of it, but I read half of it and I loved it. But you trust my opinion? You can read it once. It is at least like 4 stories in one. The chapters pass back and forth between different characters with different perspectives and different situations, and even different writing styles. For example, Hal Candenza's chapters, his mother is like a militant grammarian, so his chapters are very well spoken, who's written with a heavy accent and liberal use of slang. This makes a significant contribution to the plot. There are so many characters, and each of them is kind of quirky and weird in their own interesting way, and so you're just bound to find someone you get emotionally invested in. And is wonderfully postmodern without being
It's The Adventures of Todd and Susie. It's a really great adventurous book. It makes you feel like you're there actually when you read it. And I read it to my son and daughter at night when they go to bed. It's about these 2 kids for a time machine, and they go back in time to a bunch of historical places. The way the book is laid out, you feel like you're there. And especially in the story in Ford's Theater, you can almost hear the bullet ring out just before it hits the President Lincoln. Besides all that I learned a lot more about history, there's also a part that are about Martin Luther King, Albert Einstein, Wright brothers, Emily Earhart. I can't remember all of them, but you also go on a river.
I love this book. It is amazing. This is just a great guy. You could go on and on about him. He wrote this book. It's kind of like autobiographical, just with like, his experiences with like loving people, and like it's just a heartwarming, hilarious read, and it just makes you like want to go and give everyone a hug. I think it's one of those books I want to reread like every year, like to get me back into like mindful head. What's the word? Mindful mindset? You know what I'm saying? It's just really, really good, and I highly recommend it. So if you're looking for some nonfiction that's going to make you smile and make you feel good and kind of motivate you, or if you're feeling blue, that will like bring you out of the dumps and make you kind of have a happier, more light.
Every sentence in the novel is amazing. Every single character is unforgettable, and the book is funny. Trust me, it's gonna make you laugh so much that you're gonna cry, and then it's gonna tear your heart off your chest, and then you're gonna cry for real. It is sad because it shows you the sadness of the world, but at the same time, it doesn't take your face and push it in the dirt for 500 pages. It's a very, as I said, genuine kind of sadness. It's an amazingly entertaining book, thrilling. It basically features like 3 or 4 books that are mixed together in a single masterpiece, so you always have something to keep you interested, and the level keeps growing and growing, and you think, oh my god, this is the best masterpiece I've ever read, and then the last lines come along and you say like, oh, okay, this is better than the fucking Divine Comedy. No, I swear, that is something I love in books. It happens in Sweet Tooth, in Barney's version.
I really hope this book gets as much hype as it deserves. Fantastic, fantastic, fast-paced dystopian novel. It's, I think, it's like 430 pages. Literally flew through it. It's so good. There's just never a dull moment in this book. It's literally bit of action after bit of action after bit of action after bit of action. I can't give this book enough praise. So those are the 13 books that I thought were...
devoured it, pretty much. I loved it. This book is amazing, and I really want to read the 3 more, are there? I love this. Things that I didn't know about, and now I do. It's good to know them, because I value my life differently after reading this book. And those are books that I need in my life. And this is good. It's a good book. It's such a good book. I don't know what else to say. Just read it. Now, my favorite book. But this book, man, the emotions, the characters, the storyline, the end, the feels, all the feels. I can't deal with this. This had me bawling my eyes out, oh so many times, and I couldn't stop reading it, and it was so good.
Well, we've run out of time. And don't forget to go by and check out our website. Click on the book, and you will find a book trailer you can watch. And also you can find a free download teaser of the book. And if you liked our video, please let us know. And if you have any questions or blogs or anything, we'll try to pick up on them next time we video. Glad you viewed. Thanks.